Good morning. We're going to give a couple minutes here, let people funnel in, and then we're going to begin here. Just wait a couple seconds, and then we'll begin in a minute. I just want to let people funnel in it because usually I'm going to start trying to open this up so that we start at 9:45, and we're going to go from there on it. But I just want to make sure that everybody actually gets in, and that we are in a good space. And it looks like we're starting to stretch. I mean, hey, good morning, Nader. Good morning. So let's just start here and just keep going. So just feel free to start throwing out symbols, and we'll go from there. Hi, Nader. So I just think that, I'm just going to start here. You need to be really, really, really careful this morning. So sorry about that. I just want to grab more coffee really quickly here. So you have to be really careful here this morning. I'm just going to go through a couple things that I think you'll have to pay attention to. So you're not having follow through. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have follow through. It just means that you're not having follow through right now. And if you don't have follow through, you're going to have to watch how this plays out. So for me, just less is more this morning. And I would really focus on that. Let this market tell you what it's going to do. I mean, certain stocks are just look like they're going to get absolutely annihilated. I think Zoom's in a lot of trouble. We can get to that in a little bit. So APPS and PATH. So I looked at APPS yesterday because I got asked a lot about it, and I'll cover it. I just don't see what everybody is looking at right now in regards to this. I just don't see what the excitement is. Is the excitement that we're finally above the 8-day? Because we've done that before, and that didn't really do much for us, right? So now you're trying to get above the 21-day. I can't even get above this wedge line. So I would watch this here. This is not something that I would be rushing into or feel the need to rush into, I would say. So I would avoid that. It's not something that I would be wanting to get involved in. That's for sure. I would just wait and watch here. I just don't see any real reason to buy that. So, and let's do PATH. So, you're trying. It's definitely trying. I mean, let's just go through this because this is really important for people to understand. I'm going to get rid of these indicators for a moment. This is your first bar. Okay. There are 4 parts of this bar. This is the first bar you traded at. There are 4 parts that are very important. The open, the close, right? The open, the close, the high, and the low, right? Just watch those levels on new issues, and you'll be able to tell a lot about how you're performing and where your support and resistances are, okay? And you can kind of see how this has been playing that. And this has been a resistance level. Now, I will say this. You are being walked up. So this could continue to go, right? So see if it goes. But other than that, I would not be in a huge hurry here whatsoever. I just wouldn't. I need to get above the 6607 for sure. There's no question about it. So in regards to Tesla, hey David. So I like Tesla here. I really do. I mean, it's one of the only large cap names that I really like. And we'll see how it opens. Looks like we're going to open down about 20 basis points right now. Whether or not that's where we open, I don't know. I can draw this a little bit better, can I? So what I like about this is there's a couple key things that we broke yesterday. I've been waiting to clear 720, which is this level right here on Tesla for some time. You can see how it's had an issue with that, is that being resistance, right? Not able to close above it at all here, right? And now look, see how you couldn't close above it? Now, this bar was pretty emphatic, okay? And if you look at the indicators associated with it, we actually had above average volume on it. So I actually like the trade. Now, how the trade does and how this transpires, I have no idea. But to me, it was worth the trade. It's worth taking the shot on it. So I actually, just a caveat, I have a position in Tesla, and I started yesterday. I have options as well. So I think I have a shot at getting to the 787. We'll have to see how the market opens, and we'll have to see how we trade and how we do. But I do like it a lot. I mean, if all the large cap names that I'm looking at, this really makes the most sense. So good morning, Robert. BX. Oops, let's flip this over here. So Blackstone, I mean, you've been running up all these little advisory companies. I call them little, right? But they're not little. All these advisory companies like Blackstone, BlackRock, they're all doing well. You're just a little overextended in the group. I mean, like look at MC was one that we were talking about. Like they're all just absolutely exploding. They're all, some of them advise the government, some of them don't, but they all look fantastic. That's a tough stock to buy here because of this. Okay. So you're running right into that upper trend line and you keep bumping. Right now you have this little reversal bar up here, and now you don't know what you're going to do today. So I would be cautious here. I would definitely wouldn't be chasing it. That's for sure, Robert. Chewy, I keep waiting for it to do what I want it to do, and it just chooses to do whatever it wants to do. You're in a wedge. That wedge has not changed. You can see the wedge, right? I can get rid of the indicators and we can see it, but you're in a wedge. Nothing to do until that wedge develops itself. Yeah, let's hope, Brandon. Let's hope the semis get moving here. They broke out yesterday and then they pulled back. We're just not having any follow through. Hey, Jacob, KRBN. So this looks like a global carbon ETF. I'm not really sure what this monitors. All I would say to you is that, well, let's just keep going. How far back does this go? Okay. This goes all the way back to here. I would just argue that this bar is in charge, and this bar has been in charge, right? And you can kind of see that whatever transpired here in May, you can see how we never took out that low, which is fine. And now here you're at 39.90. Okay, so you need to get over this 39.90 and clear it. Whoever's selling up here, and I have no idea who that is, who's ever selling up here, they need to be cleaned out. And until that happens, you can see we're still struggling with it right here. So until that cleans itself out, I wouldn't go near it. And you're getting solid volume. I mean, that's pretty big volume coming in. I'm not entirely sure why. If it's an infrastructure play, I'd be very concerned if that's why it's moving. FSLR, I'll just pretend I didn't see Go Bills. FSLR. Actually, you guys have a great team this year. You should absolutely crush it, especially with how bad the Patriots look. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, you really got to get through this level. See how you're struggling with it? Let's blow this up so we can really look at it. So here's where you're at, and you just keep riding that level, right? And you have an issue with it. So I would want to see something very emphatic. I'd want to see something definitive, and I'd like to see a close above that level. Until I see something like that, it's not something that I personally, would get involved with. It's something that I would hold off on. So, hey, Terry. So MTTR BGFV, MTTR. So, yeah, I mean, what do we own here? Matterport. I'm not really sure the industry. So if you want to throw it out there and get an opinion on the industry or more color, Terry, just let me know. See this? It tells you everything you need to know. Okay. I'm not really interested that I'm above these moving averages or that they're crossing. They crossed here and failed. They crossed here and failed. And just a quick lesson. Like if you're looking at moving averages and you're looking at the breaks while you're basing, you're doing yourself a disservice. Really the best use of moving averages is during a trending market. And this is not trending. This is simply basing. So I'd at least want to see you break out of here before I do anything there, Terry. BGFV. you know, and today was one of the only days I really saw very little that was of interest to me in the market. I love this space. This space has just been on fire, and I'm not sure why this one has decided to start moving, but you know, let me just point out the difference in what I just said. You see how you based here, and then you broke out of the base, and how all these are pointing now. Now this adds value. If you flip this level 29, you're going higher. You're going higher, and this whole space is on fire, right? So, I mean, this one came in, obviously, it looks like it hit the upper channel here, probably earnings, right? Yeah. So then the earnings weren't what they expected, but they'll come back. Like, look, this is a decent winner for us in the newsletter. And yesterday, I think we were up 10 points from the buy point in 3 days. Like that space, for whatever reason, is just on fire. So I don't know that that's going to stop. Let's just take a look at the events. So I don't really know what the impetus was yesterday, but I would definitely pay attention to this. If I get above this, you know, and I'm actually going to set an alert on it and everything. If I was to get above this, I would definitely be looking at it. There's no question about it. It's definitely worth paying attention to. So Alta and Hubs. I really like Hubs. I missed it. I'll cover that in a minute. I just missed it. I was too involved, probably too engrossed in my semiconductors again. Alta, you broke out, you pulled back, and you're sitting on the 8. There's really nothing to do here. The problem that you have is that you're facing what? You kind of have a bear flag you're building here. So you probably want to hold off on this until it figures out what it wants to do, right? It doesn't know what it wants to do yet. Okay, so you have a couple levels here that you can concern yourself with. Nothing crazy. I mean, there's nothing here that you have to worry about, but let's just see how that actually does. I just don't like, I like nice long green bars up. I don't like nasty long red bars down, right? It's just that simple. And then you form a little flag on the end of this. I'm forming a bear flag after a breakout. It's not what you want to see. In regards to Hubs, I'll cover it. So you broke out. My level was right here. You broke out. You're gone. This thing's gone. This is just a matter of time. Now you have a trend line right here that you flip this one, which is good, but you can see how this one started. And now you're playing with that a little bit. If you get through this one, you're going to 800 pretty darn quickly. So that's my opinion of it. I like that a lot. I just missed it. I don't know that I'm chasing it here. RNTX, the next BB right after hours. I don't know. I have no idea. Let's take a look. RNXT. You know, maybe it moves. I don't know. I mean, what would get me about this is, right? I mean, here's where you're at, but yeah, I mean, you pretty much ran all day, didn't you? You're up to 16. I don't know. I mean, if it was going to go, why is it down? Right. So I'd be cautious there. I mean, you really don't have a lot of data points when you look at something like this, right? On a daily, you almost have to go to like a 15-minute chart so you can get enough data points so you can actually see what's going on. And you could see this rally up, and then you can just see how we rejected it. And look what did it, a long, nasty red bar. And then you form a bear flag, break the bear flag, try to get over it, can't. And then you're just playing the game. So no, it's not something I would be jumping into. I would wait and watch and see how that performs. Let's just keep going. EWN, I think I saw. Yep. So let's do EWN. Shares of Netherlands Index Fund. I don't know what this is. Let's just go to this. Wow. I don't remember even looking at this. I'm not really sure. Let me just see if that's real. That might just be a bad print. This is just going to grind higher. I mean, there's not really much more to say here. And it looks like you're getting ready to do that. Look. You see, like when you start breaking these kinds of levels and these kinds of There we go. I don't know why you're giving me such a hard time, but we're going to fix it. When you start breaking these kinds of levels, you really need to pay attention. But you see where you're at right now? So just watch it, because you have to get through this upper channel. But I mean, it's just done great all year. But just look for that break above that upper channel, Jacob. See how it acts. See how it acts. I mean, to me, I like it. I mean, just being blunt, I mean, I have it in the newsletter. So I think it's going higher. I do. I think it's going higher. And, we're going to have to see how that plays out. But I do. I think it's going to go higher. Whether those options work or don't work, we'll have to see. UPST is just acting awful and is just infuriating me. You broke out, you poked your head above it, and then you have this nasty red bar down. And, to me, it looks like you either hold the 8 or we're going to get stopped on the trade, which is just going to be infuriating. But it is what it is. I mean, you just have to honor the stop and honor the position. There's not really much more to do. So, but other than that, I would just really watch this. I mean, it's not something that I want to be, involved with until it settles in. I'm hoping it holds here. I mean, yesterday was just perfect. We broke out. We looked like we were going to go, and then they just took us straight down. And we just have to see. I mean, there's a lot of games going on right now. ZI. Hey, Raphael. There's a lot of games going on right now. ZI, look, you're waiting to head to here. This is acting perfect. It really is acting very, very well. I mean, when it gets up here, I'll probably look at actually purchasing it. It's just done exceptional. And you can just see how you're riding that 21-day. We did 2 secondaries and it held. It held both of them. So it looks to me like it wants to go. But I would like to see it clear these double wicks up here before I got involved. But even yesterday, you see how you have this like base and flag. You broke out of it. And I'd like to see more volume. Hey, Zane. I don't know, Zane. I have to think on what I'm going to do there. I don't know that I'm going to close anything there. Right there, the majority of it's an options position that goes out fairly long. So I want to watch and wait and figure it out. I'm in no hurry there. I might take a couple days and then go. Not everything's going to move in one day, and you got to have to wait and have some patience. APPS was added to the mid caps. Okay. Well, that's good news. So you may see buying in that based upon that. That could move the stock because indexes have to buy it. So that could be a precursor to moving it. See if you get above this 21-day now. And if you do, that might be an opportunity to buy it with like a low of the day, because you might just grind higher to like 62 or 63 if that happens. They have to buy the stock. I like it, Marty. I do. I still like AMD. I don't really see, I just didn't have the follow through that I wanted yesterday. I had these dumb rejections, and it's just annoying, but I have them. I mean, I can't pretend that they didn't happen. There they are. I'm looking at them, right? So I just gotta have to see how it plays out. Netflix is overextended. Yeah, I didn't chase Netflix because I haven't been seeing follow through, but you had follow through yesterday. So if you're looking at buying Netflix, I mean, this is really it. Like this was your day yesterday where you pulled back, and now you broke out of that wick with an open that was what? The low, and this was the high. You don't have any volume, and you probably have some kind of event. No, you don't have any events coming up anytime soon. So to me, I would be looking at buying this on pullbacks just because I have confirmation of two up days. Now you have some areas that I drew across here, like this 566.85. That's a real issue. But if you get through this area, you're going to all-time highs. You're going to 600 again. I really believe that. So it's not something that I would be getting out of. No. AMC. Yeah, I like AMC here. This AMC, To me, you formed a flag, you broke down here. We went over it in the trade yesterday. I mean, the buy was getting above that 42.06. It did it. It ran right to where we thought it would, right? I mean, you literally ran, what was the high of this? 45.75. Ah, you're about $1 off. But to me, yeah, this is setting up to go. You're building a huge flag and a wedge in the flag. I do. I think that AMC can go again. I don't think that trade's done. Hey, good morning, Justin. Okay. Chewy, we did. Yeah, I'm fully aware that they are separate businesses. That's why I was talking about them as a group. If you put HRB plans to buy, if they plan to buy it and everybody knows they plan to buy it, where's your edge, right? So if they plan to pay 156 for it, why is it at 146? That would be my question. Are they doing it based upon a merger? Is it based upon a stock merger? So just answer that, and then I can get more into it. I mean, clearly you broke out here, but you know, if it's trading down, like if it's not breaking out any higher than that, there's a reason for it. So I could look at the stock merger, and then I can answer that question. Hi, Anna. Have fun in Spain. BBIG. So you broke out, you failed, you came back down, and now you're filling this gap. There's not really much to do there, like at all. You need to see how this plays itself out, and it's already telling you, in my opinion, how it's going to play itself out. You're welcome. I don't know, Trader Isaac. I don't know about this question. Let's look at this. You know, it just seemed like one of these stocks that looked like it was going to go, and then it didn't. Look here. Okay, there's your earnings. We formed that flag, then we broke down, and we broke below the 21 and the 8. And it looks like they're going to cross and give us an opportunity here. But you know, this is one of those names where you really have to be like super technical and like buy it as soon as it breaks, because it doesn't stay up, right? So they rally, it breaks out, and then it pulls back. I mean, it does it over and over again, right? All the time. So you really want to watch it here. If I broke above, you know, if I broke above the 75.68, you know, it might be worth a shot to look at that. I'll set an alert for it. But I would be looking for that if it could do that. Yeah, that'd be of interest. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, I like, you know, you just have to see what it's doing. Like I pointed out yesterday in that community, like, look, you just ran right to this 230 and you just rejected that level. I mean, there's not much more to say about it. I'm trying to stay in there. I'm giving this thing a wide berth. So like, you know, my stop on this is 215. I'm willing to write it down because I want to stay in the trade. I don't want to keep trying to buy it and sell it. So I'm trying to hang in there, and we'll see how that goes. Win LVS, you know, that whole, you know, that whole side on Win and LVS, you know, you really have to watch. Like for me, you really have to watch the action in the IWM, right? Like if the action in the IWM doesn't get better, you're going to have an issue. So I really don't want to see the IWM break that lower low, because to me, that means that we're probably going to go through 223 or this 222.5. So we really are just going to have to watch that. But other than that, if that holds and we just form a flag, they're all going to go higher. They're all going to push higher. And especially the ones that are tied to Macau, which is really Win and LVS. You know, I'd be apprehensive adding to short positions here for sure. I wouldn't be doing that. You know, I would be waiting for this to play itself out. I mean, everything's getting tighter and tighter in here. The 8's crossing the 21. So you broke out of your wedge line here. Like I'd be very apprehensive to short those in here. NVAX. So I've been watching this, and you really need to get above this level, and you're just having a hard time with it. I'm going to have to look at this. Pen, FCX. I'm going to have to wrap this up pretty soon. FCX. So there's your move. I mean, maybe it holds. Maybe it goes. I don't see anything overly exciting about it. I really don't. Netflix, we did. No, I'm not doing that. Let's just get to these. Let's just jump into these and start going down here. GSAT. So I wouldn't go near this. You had your fun yesterday, and you had your spiky day, and maybe you get another one, but that long wick would have me. Don't really have that long wick here, do I? Yeah, I would watch this. I mean, obviously, clearly that's your level, 235. If you get over that, maybe it goes. But you came in, sold down, and it's just not something I'd be a party to. I'm not sure on the. I'm not sure about the trucker strike. I didn't hear that. I heard that they were having huge issues with the size of the tankers in California. W key. Let's do W key, and then that's something I'm familiar with. That's very interesting, especially that volume. So maybe this is going to go. Maybe it's back. NFTs are back, right? So let's see what's going on there. And Tesla, I did, Yanis. I like it. It's the only stock out there that I like right now that like long term that just looks like it's going to go. Yeah, let's finish strong here. Hey, see ya. Let's do this. I'm going to do PayPal and Piton, and then I'm going to have to jump here. There's a lot I have to get through this morning. So this 289 level is what you're watching, right? Maybe a follow through. If you have follow through today on this bar, which would be 290.41, 290 and a half, if you have follow through on this today, it's going to go. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for the names that are going to have follow through. That's where people are really putting their money. Okay. Just keep that in mind. And then we're going to do Piton, and then we're going to wrap this up. Okay. So pretty clear what's going on here, right? You broke down, and now you're just breaking levels and levels upon levels. So there's really not much to do there. Just get out of the way. You do not want to be along that. Okay. Oh, because of the lockdowns? Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. I mean, Australia's got a real problem on their hands. I don't know what they're going to. We have some Aussies in here, actually. We have to kind of figure out what they're going to do there. So, they have some real things. Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, they have some really very stringent draconian lockdown policies over there. I'm really surprised it's going on this long, frankly. Look at what's going on up here. You basically have a bar that encapsulated this bar. So you just have to watch that. That's not really what you're looking for. So that's it, everybody. I have to jump here and go from there. If you need me, reach out. You should know how to get in contact with me. You can just comment on this if you have questions for me, and I can answer them. If not, if it's something more in depth, it's personal, which I do get some people that don't want to talk about their position size and comments, just email me there. All right.